Hi, I'm Paul Basolka, Ivy Masters Learning Center and ivymasters.com. And today we're going to look at the 15th question from Digital SAT Test 2, Module 2B. This is from the harder set of reading and writing questions. Number 15 reads, which choice most logically completes the text? Whenever it asks you this question, what you want to do is you want to predict your answer. That's going to force you to understand what the passage is saying. And so understand the passage well enough to predict your answer. Also, another thing, if you've got a crazy big word or weird word, you could say the abbreviation for it. For example, I'm going to start reading the domestic sweet potato, IB. Just call it IB. You don't get any extra points for pronouncing it correctly in your head, in your practice, or on test day. So I'll say the domestic sweet potato, IB, descends from wild plant native to South America. So, so if it descends from a wild plant native to South America, native means that's where it originally comes from. So that's one thing to note. It also populates the Polynesian Islands, so it's there as well, where evidence confirms that Native Hawaiians and other indigenous peoples were cultivating the plant centuries before seafaring first occurred over the thousands of miles of ocean separating them from South America. So indigenous people were cultivating before seafaring. All right, so in other words, at this point, you're like, hey, if the sweet potato is in both places, either it sprung up in both places, but it says it's native to South America, so maybe it had to travel across those thousands of miles of ocean somehow. To explain how the sweet potato was first introduced in Polynesia, botanist Pable Munoz-Rodriguez, you could call him PMR, and colleagues analyzed the DNA of numerous varieties of plant, concluding that Polynesian varieties diverged from South American ones over 100,000 years ago. Given that Polynesia was peopled only in the last 3,000 years, the team concluded that what? So here's my prediction. I'm going to say that the wind blew the seeds from South America all the way over to the Polynesian Islands. I mean, it's got to get there somehow, right? Sounds crazy, but, you know, how else is it going to get there? Or maybe some bird, like, flew and, like, pooped. Like, flew from South America to the Polynesian Islands, and it had little seeds in its poop, and it pooped over there, and then, boom, you've got some sweet potatoes in Polynesian Islands. So which choice most logically completes the text? Answer choice A. The cultivation of the sweet potato in Polynesia likely predates the cultivation in South America. No, because up here it said that the sweet potato is native to South America. In other words, it originated in South America. A is wrong. Answer choice B. Polynesian peoples likely acquired the sweet potato from South American peoples only within the last 3,000 years. No, because when it diverged, that means it's different. So if it's divergent, it's different. So they started to be different over 100,000 years ago. So they must have been in both places over 100,000 years ago. So they could not have acquired it only within the last 3,000 years. They're in both places 100,000 years ago. Answer choice C. Human activity likely played no role in the introduction of sweet potato in Polynesia. That's got to be it. Why? Because there's people in Polynesia only in the last 3,000 years, but there's been sweet potatoes in both places for over 100,000 years. C looks like it's got to be our correct answer. Look at answer choice D. Polynesian sweet potato varieties likely descend from a single South American variety that was domesticated, not wild. So whether it's farm, domesticated, or wild doesn't really have anything to do with it. I mean, it says cultivating. That is the domestication of it before seafaring, but it's not like whether the variety came from whether it's domesticated or wild. So D is gone as well. Answer choice C is your best answer. Thank you for joining us today. If you like this video, click like. You can share it with someone who has difficulty with what most logically completes the text. If there's any question you'd like to answer from any official PSAT or SAT or ACT, leave that in the comments. I'd be happy to shoot a video on it. Click subscribe so you don't miss anything, and check out our 1-minute video. If you go to YouTube, IB Masters Learning Center, Test 2, Module 2B, the harder set of reading and writing questions from the playlist. The shorter videos will be just below these longer videos. Have a great day.